Hello guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Realms. I am joined once again by Krazy J via Skype. How's it going, brother?
Oh, it's great, man. Great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. So we both checked out The Conjuring tonight, and it's funny. I'm in Indiana, Krazy's in Ohio, and I texted him to see what time he was seeing it, and it's funny. We both saw it at the same exact time at 7:45 tonight.
That's crazy, man. A crazy coincidence.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So we're going to be reviewing The Conjuring today. If you haven't heard of this, which I'm sure you have, it's James Wan's latest film, and he has done Saw, Dead Silence, Death Sentence, Insidious,
and the upcoming Insidious Chapter 2.
Yeah, exactly.
And watch out, this review is spoiler filled, so if you don't want to know what it's about, turn it off now.
Exactly, yeah. So if you haven't seen it, yeah, definitely turn this off. So yeah, Krazy. The Conjuring is based on true events, loosely based, that is, because I found out, Selena has been looking up a lot on this and found, there are a lot of facts in the story, but of course they stretch some of these for a Hollywood movie. But I gotta say, man, James Wan fucking nailed it again, man. What do you think?
Man, once again, he hits out of the park. He's one of the best filmmakers working today.
Man, there's no question, dude. I mean, if you look at his body of work, he has not made a single bad film. And it may be a knee-jerk reaction to say this is his best yet, but goddamn, man, this movie, it fucking freaked me out, dude. I mean, I don't even know what else to say right off the bat. That's the first thing that comes to mind, is this movie freaked me out.
Yeah, man, me too. And it's been since Insidious, really, since I've been well, no, Sinister freaked me out too, but I mean, this way more so.
Yeah.
This movie, it is really, scared me. I mean, and that's, man, being such a hardcore horror fan, that is hard to do for me.
It really is, man. It really is. And for those of you that don't know the story, we'll give a brief summary here. It tells a story of the Perrin family that moves into this dilapidated house, and they are going to, it's a fixer-upper. They've got a big family. How many? 7 kids? Or what? No, it's 7. 4? Was it 4? 4
yeah,
kids? Yeah. I don't know why I said 7. Yeah, 4 kids. It's Roger and Carolyn Perrin that move into this house. Roger's played by Ron Livingston, and Carolyn is played by Lily Taylor, both familiar faces. Lily Taylor's in Ransom and The Haunting. She's done a bunch of stuff. I really remember her face. But they move in there, and all this weird stuff starts happening, and it's slow but methodical and just continues to build. And Lily ends up attending this seminar of these paranormal investigators, the Warrens. Ed Warren, played by Patrick Wilson, and Lorraine Warren, played by the beautiful Vera Farmiga. Is that how you say her name?
Yeah.
And she convinces them to come back to the house, and they get there, and they immediately start seeing things. Vera is a clairvoyant, and she sees this spirit that's attached herself to the family, and it just escalates from there, man, and just gets totally fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah, it gets so much worse.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, what are your thoughts on this, Krazy?
Oh, man, from the build-up, the very beginning, all the way to the end, I was, hooked. I mean, and I was, I chewed my fingernails, I do that a lot. I mean, I was it made me kind of, nervous, and, that, really, it's not easy to do. I mean, like I said, being such a, not jaded, but hardcore horror, man, it's I'm not fazed easily, but man, James Wan knows how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, when I say jaded, I just mean, I'm a fan that's seen so many things, I can't, it's not an elitist thing at all. I'm just saying, I can't be scared. I mean, it's really, really hard for me to be scared. Insidious scared me. I understand some people didn't like the twist at the end. I understand some people didn't like the movie. But I'm just speaking from facts of myself when I saw this. It chilled me. And this film did the same thing. And for me, man, honestly, even more so. I mean, there was times, and like I said, man, I really don't like overhyping films. I mean, I know there's probably going to be somebody that's going to watch this review and think, nah, what the hell? But I just can only state the facts of what happened to me personally, myself. The palms of my hands were sweaty. My feet were sweaty. There were several times throughout this film where I got a chill. It was almost like I felt the fucking spirit running through me, man. I got a chill head to toe, man. And just to say that this is not just me overhyping this, the whole crowd I saw this with, at the packed theater, they were squirming in their seats. And people were, the guy beside me, every time something would pop up where it was getting to a tense moment, he would hold his hands out like he was trying to block the screen. It was hilarious. But I mean, I can't, I didn't get to see it Cities in the theater, but I honestly don't can't even think of a film to where I saw a movie get this type of reaction out of a crowd, where the whole crowd was like freaked out. And that just goes to show you that, no, we're not overhyping this film, man. This film really is genuinely scary. And I just think that anybody that sees this, if you're not at all creeped out by this, I swear you're lying.
I agree, man. Like my spine, like I got chills like all the time, like multiple times seeing the main ghost and stuff, and even the smaller occurrences. It's just like, oh man, it did freak me out too. And it's like, yeah, it's not like being like an elitist perspective, but I'm just like, I've seen everything too, and it's like, it's hard to really do that to me, but James Wan has done that constantly, and that is just, wow.
Yeah, and when you've seen so many films we have and watched it for basically your whole life, I mean, you do just get to a point where, I don't know if you're just numb to the scares or what, but man, James Wan really knows how to do it, man. I mean, he does, and I don't know, man.
He's a master of suspense, man.
He really is, and like, with this movie, in my opinion, it cements him as the new leader in horror films, just in general. I think he's the top one now, man. I mean, I love Rob Zombie's shit, and I love a lot of other independent filmmakers and stuff, but as far as a filmmaker that has just hit it time and time again, and with tremendously awesome films. I mean, look what he did with Saw, man. I mean, I know a lot of people now want to discredit that, but look at the Saw film, man. Look at the first Saw film. Look what he did with that. That film was amazing, and it's been jaded with all the sequels, but the first film's amazing, and every other film he's done has been at least really good, to this one being fucking great. I think that guy is just amazing.
Oh man, he is at the head of the pack, and Saw is still a great film. It's aged really well, that one alone.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched the other ones in a while, but even watching that one, that was made in that came out in 2004.
Yeah.
And it is still just as good as it was the first time I saw it.
It really is, man. And it's a shame that it looks like he may be leaving the horror genre. I mean, didn't you say that there was something that was said about that?
Yeah, I read an interview where he said in Insidious Chapter 2, that could be his last horror film, and I can understand, but man, that would be such a shame.
Yeah, I mean, I think once he goes into doing this Fast and the Furious 6, that's gonna open him up to a whole new world. But man, the thing is, when I was on Dead Pit this last week talking about it, and Creepy Kentuckian said, I don't think we've even scratched the surface as far as James Wan's goes, and I agree, man. I think that this guy, he has exhibited already. He is a fucking true talent, man. He's one of the masters of this generation.
He can make any type of film work. I know that.
I think he can too, man, but it's just amazing how well he understands what people fear, and he does that in this film. And another thing that I love, I want to get back more into the review here, I love the way this film was shot. And one of the scenes that really captured my attention is when they're moving into the house, and the movers...
Oh, the long shot?
Yeah, the movers
That's
are carrying...
fun too.
Yeah, the movers are carrying the couch, and the camera goes under the couch, into the house, over to one of the kids. That kid gives something to one of the other kids. The camera continues to follow this kid into another room. It is an amazing, seamless, long-ass shot that had to have been planned meticulously to pull that off, man.
That's like the Tarantino long shot, but yeah, I love shots like that. That was so beautiful. As soon as that started going, I loved it automatically. It was like, it was just going with the people, and those shots are awesome. And the choreography of that, I mean, that takes a bit, and that was just that was amazing. It was shot amazingly. You're right, man.
It really was. And, you know, as far as, you know, the film being scary, the thing that I noticed in this, and James Wan really understands this, you know, it's like Selena said, there's really nothing new in this film. There's really not. But it's the way that he shot it. It's the way that the story is built up that, I mean, he's 10 steps ahead of anybody else. Fuck The Last Exorcism. Fuck Paranormal Activity. Those movies are fucking garbage compared to this. And again, I'm not saying anything against anybody that likes those films, but in comparison, man, there's just no comparison. This guy knows how to build a scene. And you know, the thing that I really liked is, like, you know, an example, the girl beating her head against that, what are they called, the armoires or whatever, the portable closet things. Her beating her head against that, you know, them slowly building that, building her sleepwalking. Then they build the witches on top of it. Then how he builds the scene with the hand clapping game. The kid shows the kids playing it several times. Then they get the mom to play it. The ghost is involved with that. Then she gets up in the middle of the night hearing this banging. She hears a hand clapping, thinks it's the kids. It's the way he takes these ideas that are little and builds upon them, and really it builds the tension to where you get to that climax and that payoff. It's very Hitchcockian. You know, Hitchcock was the master at building suspense like that, and James Wan understands how to do it. He can take a cliche or a well-known trope of a film, but yet make it scary and original too. And that's what I mean is this guy. That's what I mean by this guy is a fucking master, man.
Oh yeah, and that's true, because I mean, like, this stuff is like, I mean, you know, you see ghost movies all the time and stuff, but he like, I mean, it's not that he reinvents them, but he like puts a new spin on, like Insidious, like that's a good example of that. And like this especially, it's like I even comparing this to like Mama, I mean, like, because that was like the latest one this year that I've seen, really, like a ghost film.
Yeah. And
like, but I mean, still, like, yeah, he took this and like he amps it up to 11, and that's just through suspense alone. That's not easy, man. He does it perfectly though.
Well, the thing is, you know, this does come off as a ghost film, but it's really, truly a possession film. It's kind of like right in between both of them, but ultimately it's a possession film. And man, I'm going to go ahead and say this, and this might be a stretch, and again, I'm not overhyping this. I swear, it's my feeling of this film. I think it's the scariest possession film since The Exorcist, man. I really do. I can't think of any other film that scared me like this one did, you know, like since The Exorcist. I mean, I can see this film being one of the most talked about films from this generation or this decade. I just do, man. I really do, and I don't think that's overhyping it. I do.
No way. I can see that too. And you know, this reminded me of The Exorcist and The Changeling a lot. Those two films. I mean, in particular, I mean, I don't know why it wasn't another ghost film. The Changeling, I could see so much of that in this film.
Yeah, I agree. So, Krazy, we're running short on time here, man. We're running about 13 minutes now. We're going to try to keep this about 15 minutes because it's easier for upload with my little janky uploading system I have to do right now. But what do you give this, Krazy, as far as a score?
After thinking it over, man, originally I was going to give it an 8, but like I got to give it a 9, man. 9 out of 10 easily.
Yeah, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Honestly, there's a few little CG parts that I thought was, and you know, Headbanger mentioned this too, man, to me, that like a few of the CG parts, I totally agree. Like with the blood and like with her burning when she starts to come out of the house. Obviously, some CG moments dinged it a little bit for me, man, but I give it a 9.5 out of 10. I fucking loved it. Now, is my favorite horror film of the year? I don't know, man. I think it's, I don't know. I can't even comment on that right now. There's not enough times. We're at 14 minutes now, and I don't want to get into that part. But yeah, I loved it, and I know you loved it too, man.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Go see it.
Yeah, definitely go see this. This is a theater experience movie. Don't wait for Blu-ray or DVD. You have to see this in the theater with the crowd, with the big-ass screen, the really loud surround sound, because it's really fun. Adds to the film. I think we both cannot recommend this film enough, man. Go see The Conjuring. So Krazy. Yeah, Krazy, and man, I appreciate you joining me for this review. It's been awesome, man, and it's been a great time. And guys, thanks for all the support, and we will be seeing you guys soon. Have a good one, guys. Later.
Later.